A lot of people get diagnosed with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. But what is that? It's inflammation, but inflammation unknown. What people don't realize is there's a real cause to IBS, and it's bad bacteria. Streptococcus is one of those bad bacteria right here. Sometimes E. coli. Mostly Streptococcus is the one that causes that IBS. So what is that? What are the symptoms? Well, symptoms could be anything from constipation to having the runs to cramping to discomfort to bloating. That's IBS, right? But you can get a diagnosis for virtually any kind of gastrointestinal disorder. The IBS is just one. But many people who get the IBS disorder and they get that diagnosis, they have to worry about some of the things they're eating because they're always like, what's setting them off? Like, what is it? Is it this food? I don't feel good. I had that dinner. I had that lunch, and now I'm having a problem in the bathroom. So one of the things to stay away from when it comes down to IBS is gluten. That's one of the things. So when you have your burger, you got to watch out for that gluten-based bun. Same thing if you have any kind of bread or sandwich, you got to look out right there for that. People eat pizza all the time, and they have pizza, and obviously the crust is gluten-based. So here's how it works. So as you're eating your gluten, right? So here it goes. The gluten comes down here, it enters your stomach, then it enters your small into your duodenum, down into your small intestinal tract. And as it gets down in there, little buggies in there love to feed off of gluten. So they eat the gluten. That's the whole point. So the gluten that you're eating, bugs are actually feeding off of the gluten. Somebody else doesn't have that bug if they're eating gluten and they're perfectly fine and they don't have any worries. They're not getting an IBS diagnosis. They don't have any gastrointestinal problems. They're eating what they want because they don't have certain bugs inside of them, right? But it's important to know that when you have IBS or you have some kind of gastrointestinal disorder that gets diagnosed as IBS or even celiac or anything like that, you got the bugs. And those bugs, those critters are sitting inside of your gut. And they're feeding off of the gluten. And that's what causes IBS. It's the bug itself feeding off of the gluten and then growing in numbers. And when that bacteria grows in numbers because it's feeding off of that gluten you're eating, those numbers of bacteria end up inflaming the lining, anything from the ileum right there, the ileocecal valve, into the colon, any of this. And then you get the cramps, the discomfort, the runs, the constipation, and even more, even some bloating.